head that haven't left. And I walked off the stage in the Spain Amateur O, which I thought was like my best look, and I felt really good. And I walked off the stage and there was like this transvestite kind of judge, IFBB organiser. She was from Switzerland. Maybe she was just on too much gear, but she looked like a man, but it was a look. And she dressed like a man. And she loved me. And I like got off the stage and I was like, oh, like, did I make the top 5? And she was like, oh, like, for sure you did. I just watched you, like, you're incredible. There's no way you didn't make the top 5. And then like one of the judges came around and he was like, number whatever, and he was like, no top 5. And I was like his exact voice that like echoes in my head, like, no top 5. Every time I'm about to do a big set, it's like, no top 5. So I came 6th.
That career line was so good. I reckon that was if I could pick what I prefer as the best lineup,
I agree, yeah.
they all just looked so good, wouldn't they?
Korea,
You looked good there as well.
Yeah, I liked
Well, I was just like the first class there. They all looked pro.
Yeah. Yeah, Korea in general was like, I didn't expect it to be like that. It's like Japan, but way better for bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Better gyms.
The bodybuilding culture is much better.
And then I keep going back and placing in like the top 4, and I'm like, who's this big, tall, fucking white dude? Because every time it's the top 4, it's like Korean, Japanese, Chinese, and then me. I'm like the only non-Asian. Yeah.
I'm sure doing Kazakhstan for that weekend. She's like very limited on what visas she can get. She's Hello guys, and thank you for tuning in to another vlog. We are 9.5 weeks out from my first show of season 2, my next physique contest, and things have been going quite smoothly. I had a new low, of 104.8 kilos this morning, which I think in my mind has been around 10 kilos away from being show lean. So 9.5 weeks, 10 kilos. I think that's in a pretty good place to be because the weight always falls off a lot quicker in the back end of prep. So I'm definitely not as lean as I was 9.5 weeks out of last show, but I think that's a good thing because like I've said in other videos, I did feel a little bit burnt out at last prep, and I felt like I got a little bit too ahead of schedule, and then it puts you in sort of a weird position where the desire to grind can diminish somewhat, whereas if you're always sort of needing to improve, it always kind of keeps that fire lit, and I have the feeling that I still need to improve every day, every week at this point. So it makes it very easy for me to be locked in mentally and doing what I need to do every single day. Food is still being super high. I'm 3,800 calories per day, and the weight is not falling off quickly, but it is still coming down, getting the new load today. Cardio is at 45 minutes and of a low intensity, so I'm really not cranking too hard on that, and what that's meaning is I'm feeling relatively fresh for my weight sessions, and I can really crank on those. But apart from hunger and food focus and peeing a lot of time at night, things really aren't too bad, and I feel like I have a lot within me still to push. But the theme of this prep is just not rush, take the time, turn the dial little by little, and just focus on winning the day and getting a little bit better each week and doing it in more of a sustainable fashion where I'm not hoping for the prep to end. I'm not resenting the prep by the end, allowing me to be able to continue a lot of these behaviors and habits after the show as well, as opposed to sort of rebounding really aggressively and feeling the desire to want to eat fucking 7,000 calories and not do any cardio. You know, that's not really the ideal position to be in right after prep, but in reality, it generally is the case, you know, where people are just so burnt out, where they don't want to restrict food in the slightest anymore, and they don't want to be training hard, or they don't want to be doing cardio anymore because, you know, they're just so at their wits' end. But I feel like I'm not hating the process whatsoever, and I feel like I have a good balance where I am grinding, I am improving, but I'm not resenting anything, I'm not hating the process, and I feel like I can continue this for a great deal further, which is the mindset I think that I'll need to have to be able to have the success in my shows and to be able to have a really long year and some successful results in the back end of the year, which is what my number one goal is above all. You know, I have a lot going on in my life with the Pump Kitchen restaurant. You know, they're still growing. We had our biggest month to date last month, so the growth is there and there's still a lot to do. We're going to have the Undefeated Gym opening in December. I'm fully hands-on, and you know, a lot of my day is spent, you know, navigating the tasks that are necessary to have the gym build and the equipment and the interior and the recovery center and all those things, making sure that that's moving forward. So I have a lot on my plate, and you know, I have a team of 50 athletes on my roster that I'm coaching now, you know, and that takes a big chunk of my time as well. But again, that's work that I really love doing, and I'm hungry to see what my athletes and clients can achieve in their year as well. But above all else, my number one goal is to have a personally really successful final few months of the year as an athlete. You know, that's my number one goal above all else. I have a lot to be thankful for and a lot to be grateful for, but truly my number one desire is to go to some of these big shows in the back end months of the year and show that I can be at the top of those shows. That is my number one goal. So my priority above all else is being the best athlete I can possibly be for the next 9, 10 to 20 weeks till the end of the year, and bring my absolute best and show that I am worthy of being at the top amongst any sort of really stacked lineup across the world. You know, that's the focus. So today is a rest day, so no training, but you would have seen the morning ops where I did 45 minutes on the stepper, just cruising while watching a couple of anime episodes. Then I did 15 minutes in the sauna, and then I did 4 minutes in the ice. So a nice little sweat and recovery session to kick off the morning before we kick into meal one. After meal one, I'm going to go shower up and then hit a work block. So I've got a lot of client check-ins to do, which will be good. Then I've got some calls with a few of the suppliers, materials for the gym that are coming in. I'll take those leadings. I've got some specials to approve for next month for the new specials they're coming to Pump. And I'm also working on some new designs for the new range of Undefeated merch. You would have seen just a little teaser of one of the tracksuits for Undefeated that I was wearing today during cardio. But I'm really excited to grow the Undefeated name, not through just having a fucking badass motherfucker of a gym and one of the best gyms in Asia, but also, you know, having an epic line of supplements with like cream of rice, whey protein, creatine, all of that, and a really solid epic line of Undefeated gear merch with I want everything. I want tracksuits, jerseys, singlets, hoodies, the works. So I'm putting a lot of time into that, but I'm excited to see what Undefeated is going to grow into, because, you know, my priority number one is to be a successful athlete and to earn my professional status and to be known as a professional athlete. That's priority number one. But priority number two is to turn Undefeated into a global fitness empire. So you can trust that a lot of work is going into that day by day. So I'll show you the meal that we have for meal one before it gets cold. I have a 7 egg white omelet there, 1 fried egg, Americano, some pump, and then I have 80 grams of oats with 70 grams of banana, 70 grams of blueberries, and 25 grams of nut butter. So a nice way to kick off this rest day and a good here calories. I'm going to get this down. I'm going to, for the 28th attempt, try and make some weight on one piece. There's been a love-hate relationship there, but I'm trying to get through to the good part. 138 episodes deep and we still haven't injected the good part yet. But we'll keep pushing on with that. And then one episode there, and then we'll get into the work for the day. Alrighty guys, I was planning on being a lot more active and vocally on here and showing what I got up to today on this rest day, but I just got into a serious workflow for the past, God, it's almost 4 o'clock now. I'm well behind on meals. I was just so into the work that the time passed very quickly. I love when that happens. I've done a lot of reading on sort of Japanese culture and the principle of ikigai, which basically refers to like finding your purpose in life. They talk about trying to find something that you enjoy doing, that you're good at doing, that can help the world and that you can get paid for. When all of these sort of parts intersect, you know, that's when you found your ikigai and your purpose. And they say that when you do find this, you reach a flow state where sort of time just surpasses so quickly without you knowing. And unfortunately, a lot of people, you know, with their work, they never get to experience that. You know, they're clock watching, waiting until it strikes 5 so they can block off phone and put on Netflix and leave the office. But you know, I'm blessed in slowly more and more figuring out what I want to do in this life and what impact I want to make and how I want to make people's lives better. And I feel like day by day I'm getting a little bit closer, and today was a good realization that, okay, this is what you're here for, this is what you're good at doing, and this is what you love doing, so stick at it. I did my coaching work, I worked on some new recipes, scheming up some new recipes for Pump, and then I started mapping out the next season of merch for Undefeated. I mean, the first season hasn't even dropped yet, but already started designing and brainstorming my next ideas for season 2, and I was really happy with some of the ideas I was coming up with. But we are athletes first, so meals must be adhered to at all times. So I have a little chicken salad sushi ginger bowl, and then from Pump I've got 350 grams of the Japanese sweet potato fries. So I'm going to get this down and then catch up on Instagram. I haven't been on social media at all today, and then in a couple of hours it's already Irfan's birthday, but in a couple of hours we're going to go up to Jimbaran, the fish market, and have some grilled whitefish straight from the bay and watch the sunset and celebrate Irfan's birthday. So I'll show you a little bit how I navigate sort of an off-plan meal in prep. Not an off-plan meal, but a flexible meal in prep. Certainly not something that I commonly do, but when it's a close friend and a teammate and it's his birthday and he wants to go out for a meal, I'm not going to be the guy that doesn't go or takes away the Tupperware, especially when there's very clean options like a whitefish and rice and veggies. So I'll show you how I navigate that situation while staying the course and making sure the day is won. Hey. Birthday boy. What's that? Oh, is that at the front?
Hey, thank you, Russell. Thank you so much.
I got your little care package.
Oh, wow.
A few little bits and bobs. I don't like stuff that tastes like too out there,
Oh, okay.
too fishy. It's really nice on this camera. Whoa! Just way to ruin my nice romantic
Sorry.
But go back to the nice stuff.
okay.
Maybe you tell them.
Is it recording?
Oh yeah, I was just going to show people how they can track. Go ahead. Maybe that's better. I don't have enough hands for this. Thank you.
Did I have the green sambal here?
Green sambal?
The one that we always have? What?
I think different restaurant, different kind of sambal. What you eat? What did you taste it? Nice? Fresh?
Right, guys, I'm closing out this vlog. It is almost 11 p.m. I'm normally asleep at this time, so it's past my bedtime, and I want to get some rest because this prep, one of the big things I'm trying to prioritize versus last prep is time for recovery and rest. But to wrap this one up, had a lovely birthday dinner with Irfan and Shur down at Jimbaran Beach. We went and picked our seafood fresh from the market, and then we took it to the restaurant and they grilled it for us fresh. You can't get any fresher than that. And we got a bunch of lean seafood, squid, prawns, snapper, and mussels that Shur ate, which I do not eat, not a fan. Some steamed rice and some veggies as well. And you would have seen, I just took my scale and weighed out 250 grams of rice. I did 250 grams of cooked proteins from the squid and the fish, and I did 150 grams of veg. Now normally I would do 350 grams of rice at that meal, but just factoring in some oils and little things here and there, it's better to play it safe than sorry in prep, because each day matters. But hope that gives some insights in how a meal out on prep can be managed. I certainly wouldn't be doing that every week in prep, but I think when it's for a special occasion and when the meal and experience can bring some value and joy to your week and to your day, I think it's of merit, because the more and more I learn about this game and the bodybuilding and physique pursuit, the more I realize it's a game of mental mastery, and the more positive you can keep your mindset, the further you will take your physique. I'm certain of that. And you know, last prep I probably wouldn't have gone to the meal, where I would have gone and just not eaten anything, but this time around I'm trying to enjoy the process a little bit more, not be overly obsessed with perfection, and to make sure that I'm enjoying the ride and I'm not in a rush for a certain phase to be over. I want this to be sustainable. I want it to be something that I can continue for a long time. All right. We'll see what the weight says. Probably going to be lower tomorrow because I probably was a little bit too conservative with the calorie estimates. But if it's a new low, that's that can only mean good things, and regardless of what happens tomorrow, we'll be locked back on and on the meal plan. But as always, if you made it this far, not the most exciting day in prep, but you know, at this phase of my life, it's not super exciting. There's a Hormozi quote that's really sitting with me lately that says, like, I'm not sure if it's in your 20s or 30s, I'm paraphrasing, but it says, like, when you get to 35, You can either be underlived or underachieved. And I think that's something that I think a lot of people get confused is like, if you want to travel the world and have all these amazing experiences and have fun all the time and have all these amazing days, it's going to come at the cost of achievement. And life-wise, if you want to achieve big things, it's going to have to come at some expense of social and leisure and activities and travel and vacations and things like that. And I'm certainly in the phase of pursuing achievement right now, and I'm okay with the fact that that might mean there's a little less living that goes on right now. But tonight was good to break up the monotony on the repetition of the prep days. But tomorrow we'll be back in one quote.